Dear students, in this video, I am solving the problems on single column cash book. Keeping in mind the examination format, we have observed a 5-mark question in the section B from last 3 years has been asked from this topic, single column cash book. So single column cash book can also be asked as prepare a simple cash book for the following transactions below. So this is most important topic for your 5 marks, or they may ask it in the skill development also. So let's start illustrating problems below. The problem 1. Prepare the cash book for April 2006 from the following particulars: date, details, amount in rupees, year 2006. The April 1st cash in hand 17,600. April 3rd purchase goods for cash from Reena 7,500. April 6th sold goods to Rohan 6,000. April 10th wages paid in cash 500. April 15th cash paid to Nina rupees 3,500. April 17th cash sales 10,000. April 19th commission paid 700. April 21st cash received from Tina 1,500. April 25th furniture purchased for cash 1,700. April 28th rent paid, even if they have not specified anything, that is cash transaction only. So rent paid rupees 3,000. April 30th paid electricity bill in cash 1,300. These are the transactions which they have given for the month of April 2006. We have to prepare a single column cash book. Here, single column cash book is nothing but they are telling us that prepare one column, debit side one column and credit side one column for this cash book. This is a simple format which we are going to follow for all the single column cash book problems. Okay, we need to prepare a ledger kind of account for the cash book. Like I have already explained in the classroom, cash book, though it is a part of the subsidiary book, the exceptions relating to cash book is that we prepare the cash book, that is single column, double column and 3-column cash book in the format of ledger itself. So we are not going to prepare a separate cash account, bank account or discount, the cash account or bank account for these transactions. Okay, so this book itself shows the debit side and the credit side, hence there is no need of preparing any separate account. Okay, so here you can see we have a 2 sides. Debit side has date, particulars, ledger folio, amount, and the credit side also has date, particulars, ledger folio and amount. So what we need to understand about the cash book is that whatever the cash receipts means the cash which we have received in any form. Cash receipts is nothing but the cash which we have received in any form that we need to debit. The cash which we have paid to anybody in any form which we need to show, that payments we need to credit in the cash book. Payments. Okay, whenever the cash is reducing from our hand, that is credit. Whenever the cash is being added in our hand, that is debit. So this is a clue that you need to remember. So let's begin with the transactions on 1st April cash in hand. Cash in hand means cash is increasing in our hand. So on 1st April, when they say cash in hand, or they may say commence business with the cash, that both transaction we have to show it as to balance brought down, or you may use the word to by. Even if you don't use also, that is fine. It is better to use to in the debit side, by in the credit side. Okay, this problem I have taken from the internet. They have not used it, that is still fine. Okay, each and every one of us have a different way of solving and writing the books, maintaining the books, that is fine. But all the transactions, receipts in the debit side, payments in the credit side. That's all. So cash in hand. We are having a 17,600 rupees in our hand. That is a form of receipt. That is, cash is increasing. So we are considering on 1st April 2006 to balance brought down 17,600 rupees. Okay, next on April 3rd, purchase goods for cash. When we are purchasing, cash is coming or cash is going? Think, cash is coming or cash is going? Cash is going, right? So when we are purchasing a goods, cash is going and we are paying that to RENA. So when cash is going, payments, that is cash is deducting, that is credit side, on April 3rd, purchases by purchasers 17,500. You can say in a bracket paid to RENA. Okay, next. On April 6th, sold goods to Rohan. When we are selling the goods, when we sell the goods, what we are going to receive back in return? Cash. Amount is coming to us. So when we are selling the goods, cash is coming to us. It's a receipts of cash that we need to record in the debit side. On April 6th, it should be April 6th here, okay? On sold goods to Rohan, that should have been okay, sorry. Here that transaction is not recorded. It is because here they have not mentioned sold goods to Rohan. It is in the cash format karke. So they have not mentioned it in the cash format. That's why this transaction is not recorded here. Okay. So if they said sold goods to Rohan in cash, then it would have recorded. But since they have not recorded that, they have not said that sold goods to Rohan in cash, this transaction is not recorded here. Okay. Next, the wages paid in cash. So they have said here wages are paid in cash. So cash is reducing in our hand. On April 10th, wages are paid. The cash is reducing. That's why we are crediting that in the cash 500 rupees. On April 15th, cash paid to Nina. So on April 15th, we have paid the cash to Nina. That is, cash is reducing in our hand. It's a payment. On 15th, we paid it to Nina 3,500 rupees. Next, on April 17th, cash sales. See here, they have said cash sales. So sales, we are considering here rupees 10,000 because cash is coming when we are selling the goods. Next, on April 19th, commission paid rupees 700. So we have paid the commission. So obviously when we are paying the commission, we have to pay it in the cash format only. Okay. When we are paying the salaries, rent, commission or anything, we are paying here maximum using the cash format only. So here commission is paid unless they have mentioned there as a bank. Okay. But they have not mentioned there as a bank. So we are considering this as a cash. So commission paid rupees 700 rupees on April 19th. So 21st of April, cash received from Tina. So cash is being received. So that is a receipts of cash on 21st of April, 1,500 rupees. On April 25th, furniture purchase for cash. Furniture is purchased. When we are purchasing something, we are paying the cash to that. 1,700 rupees is a payment. So why we have purchased the furniture? You can write here purchase furniture or furniture, whatever it is, on date 25th. Okay, next on April 28th, rent paid. So we have paid a rent. Here they have not mentioned bank. So we are considering that as a cash payment. Rupees 3,000 is paid on April 8th. So next, April 30th, paid electricity bill in cash, 1,300 rupees is being paid on 30th April. So these are the transactions of cash payments and these are the transactions relating to cash receipts. What is the cash we have as of now? As of now, at the end of that particular month, we have a cash of 29,100 rupees in our hand. Obviously, cash debit side will always be more. Cash book debit side will always be more and credit side will be less because cash receipts will be always more than the cash payments, because whatever the cash we have in our hand, only that much we can spend. More than that, we cannot spend. If I have 100 rupees in my hand, I cannot spend 110 rupees. That means that maximum amount, maximum cash which I can spend is 100 rupees only. Okay. So now I need to record this same amount in the credit side also, 29,100 rupees, and deduct all this total amount from this 29,100 rupees. We will get 10,900 rupees as a difference. That difference on last date of that particular month, we considered it as a balance carried down. By balance carried down to the next month, that balance will be brought down to the next month, 1st May. This is 1st April month is over. 1st May 2006, by to balance brought down 10,900 rupees. This is how we need to write it in the cash book. It is simple concept. Cash books has cash receipts and cash payments. Debit side cash receipts, credit side cash payments. Okay, how you have understood this easy problem. This is a 5 marks easiest problem. Next we will go to problem 2. Enter the following transactions in the cash book of Mrs. Rohan Traders. Date, details, amount in the rupees is given in the year 2005. December 1st, cash in hand. Cash in hand, this is a cash transaction, yes. December 5th, cash received from Neetu. This is a cash transaction, yes. We need to record it. So this is cash in hand is a debit because we have, this is a receipt of cash, okay. Cash received from Neetu, this is again a debit because it is a receipt of cash. Next, insurance premium paid. Since they have not mentioned their paid through a bank, we considered it as a cash payment. Okay, so payment, it is a cash payment. Next, furniture purchased. Furniture purchase, they have not said anything about bank transaction, so we considered this as a cash purchases. So this is a cash payments. Next, sold goods for cash. They have said goods are being sold for cash. That means when we are selling the goods, we are receiving the cash. This is a cash receipts. Next, purchase goods from Naman for cash rupees 26,000. So we have purchased the goods and we have paid 26,000 rupees cash. This is a cash payment. Next, cash paid to Rohini 3,200 rupees. We have paid 3,200 rupees cash to Rohini. This is a cash payment. On December 25th, sold goods to Kanika for cash. Here we have sold the goods to Kanika. When we are selling the goods, we are receiving a cash of 18,700 rupees. This means cash receipts. Next, on December 28th, cash deposited into bank 5,000 rupees. So we have deposited the cash into the bank. That means cash is going from our hand. That will go and sit in the bank account that is there. But here in the single column cash book, we are only showing cash things, cash related thing. Okay. So cash deposited into bank is going to the, going from the cash book. That is cash payment. Next, rent paid. Again, rent paid. Cash is going from the hand. So this is again a cash payment. Credit side. Next, salary paid. Salary paid. Again, they have not mentioned anything about the banks. We are considering that is a cash transaction only. So salary paid in the form of cash. Cash is reducing. So this needs to be credited. So this is about the transactions. You solve this and you will get the answer similar to this. Okay. If you miss something, you can pause the video or watch the video repeatedly so you can understand what needs to be debited and what needs to be credited. Next thing, in problem 3, write up a Sharjil Siraj Khan's single column cash book for the month of April 2015 from the following. Cash in hand. Cash in hand, like I have already said, this is a debit balance. We have to show it as to balance brought down. Okay. Cash sales. We have sold the goods and received the cash, that is cash receipts, debit side of the cash book. Paid check to the creditor. See here, check is paid. This is check, spelling is wrong here, but fine. CHEQUE is a check spelling. Check is paid to the creditors. This transaction we are not recording in this cash book. Okay, it's because it is not impacting on our cash in the hand. It will impact on the bank. From bank we are paying. So in single column cash book we are not recording anything relating to the check or check transactions. Okay. Next, wages paid in cash. This one we need to record. We have paid the wages in cash, that is payments that we need to record in the credit side. Next, cash sales. Cash, we have sold the goods worth rupees 18,000 in the form of cash. We have received the amount, so we need to debit that. Cash receipts, we need to debit that. Okay, next, paid cash to TCP. We have paid the cash to the TCP for 20 rupees, that we need to record it in the credit transaction. Paid salaries by cash. We have paid the salaries, that is cash is going, that is credit transaction, credit sales. So here credit sales should not be recorded in the, this should not be recorded in the cash book. This should be recorded in the sales book. When we did subsidiary books, purchase book, purchase return book, sales book and sales returns book, we have learned that any purchase or sales on credit basis, okay, non-cash basis we say, or credit basis we say, purchase or sales of goods, that we will consider in purchase book or sales book, not in the cash book. In cash book we consider any transaction relating to cash, any transactions relating to cash, that may be purchase in the form of cash, sales in the form of cash, receipts in the form of cash, payments in the form of cash, anything relating to cash, that we will record in the cash book. Okay. Note receivable realized. So note receivable realized here means, note receivable means somebody has to give us the money. Okay. Realized means they have given it today. That means that maturity period has reached. Now they have given us the money. So that means we have received a cash, that we need to debit this. Okay. Next, paid cash for repairing. We have paid the cash for repairing purpose. This needs to be credited. Next, sales by cash. We have sold the goods in by cash. The cash is coming to us. This needs to be debited. Next, paid office expenses. Office expenses is paid. That means we have paid it in the cash form. That needs to be credited. Payments. Paid rent and rates. We have paid some rent and rates, 3,600 rupees. This is a payment, cash payment, that needs to be credited. Next, cash sales. We have sold the goods and received the cash of 19,200 rupees. That should be debited. Next, paid electricity bill of 900 rupees. We have paid the electricity bill, that should be credited. Next, cash collected from the debtor. We have received the cash from the debtor. Okay, that means cash receipt, this is, that should be debited. Next, goods purchased. We have purchased the goods worth rupees 2,000 here. Okay, on 29th. So purchases, we are considering here as a cash purchases. Okay, so goods purchases 2,000 rupees, though that needs to be credited. Next, retire bank loan, that is bank loan which we had to pay. We have paid it in a full settlement. This is retire means full settlement. So nothing is left to be paid. Everything we paid it to the bank cashier now. We have repaid the bank loan. That is, retire bank loan means repayment of the bank loan. Repayment of the bank loan amount 3,000 has been paid. This is a cash payment we have paid to the bank. Okay. So whomever we have paid, when we are preparing a single column cash book, all the payments goes to the credit side, all the receipts comes to the debit side. So this is what we are preparing the cash book. The next problem you can solve that. I will see here. Enter the following transactions in a single column cash book of Mr. Kumaran, 2004 January. First, started business with cash, 1,000 rupees. Started business with cash, that is to balance brought down. Okay, here you can say to capital account also, because the balance has been, he has started the business. Okay, next, purchase goods for cash. Goods has been purchased, so that means cash is going, cash payments. When we purchase, it's a cash payment. When we commence a business with a cash, it's a capital or receipts, cash receipts. This should be debited. That should be cash receipt should be debited. This is a cash payment. Next, sold goods. Sold goods here is considered as cash sales, 1,700 rupees. If they have given the name, then we consider that as a credit sales. If they have not said cash or credit, but they have said, like, for example, they said sold goods to Raman, that means that's a credit sales. Or they say purchase goods from Radhika, that means credit purchases. You remember that. Unless they have specified the name here. If they have not specified the name here, we consider that as a cash payment or a cash sales or cash purchases only. Okay, so that is the difference. So here sold goods, 1,700 rupees. We have sold the goods and received the 700 rupees cash. This is a debit, cash receipts. Okay, cash received from Shiva. Directly we are saying it's a cash receipts. We have received the cash from Shiva. This is debit side. Next, paid Balan, rupees 150. We have paid 150 rupees to Mr. Balan. This is a cash payment, credit side. Bought furniture. We have purchased a furniture. They have not specified cash or bank, but or credit they have not said. So we are considering this as a cash purchases, rupees 200. That means cash is going, that is payments. Purchase goods from Kala on credit. Are we going to record this transaction? No, we must not, because this is a credit transaction. This is a credit transaction that should be recorded in the purchase books when we are preparing subsidiary books. Okay, here paid electricity charges, 225 rupees. It's a payment, cash payment, credit side. Next, paid salaries, 250 rupees. It's a payment, cash payments, credit side. Received commission, it's a cash receipts, it's a debit side. Solve these problems in your notebook with the help of these clues which I have provided in these videos. So here, solve by yourself. I have shared this PDF in your WhatsApp group. Solve by yourself. From the following particulars, prepare a single column cash book of Miss Kokila. Cash in hand, which side? By now I am sure that you must have understood cash in hand, to balance brought down. This is a debit side item. Very first day. Next, cash purchases. When we are purchasing, we are paying the cash. This is a cash payments. This is a credit side item. Cash sales. We have sold the goods and received the cash. This is a debit side item. Paid to Balan. We have paid the cash to Balan. This is a credit side item. cash payments. Received cash from Charan. We have received the cash from the Charan. It's a debit side item. Paid into bank. We have paid the cash to the bank. So now it's a credit side item. Cash withdrawn from the bank. We have withdrawn the money from the bank. It's a debit side item. Paid salaries. We have paid the salaries. It's a credit side item. Bought furniture. We have purchased the furniture, but they have not mentioned credit purchases. Neither they mentioned bank purchases. So we consider this as a bought furniture for cash. It's a debit side item. Rent paid 1000 rupees is a credit side item. Sorry, this furniture we have purchased, so we have paid. This is a payment. Okay, here this is a payment, so this is again a credit side item. So this is what you have understood and you need to solve. Now there is a twist in these two below problems. You need to understand this. If you understand this, you will definitely score 5 out of 5 in your examination. Okay. Enter the following transaction in the single column cash book of Mrs. Lalita 2002 August. First, cash in hand. So obviously this is to balance brought down debit side. Yes, this is a cash receipt. Okay, done. On third, paid into bank rupees 12,000. Paid to bank, this is a cash is going, cash payment, this is a credit side. You know it. Yes, very good. On fourth, cash sales. We have sold the goods on cash. We received 24,000. So this is a cash receipt, debit side. Okay, good. On fifth, credit sales to money. This is a credit sales. We don't need to record in the cash book, single column cash book or a double column cash book or 3 column cash book. Credit side, credit sales, we are not recording in the cash book. We will record that in the sales book. Okay, so this transaction is not recorded. Okay, very good. Next, on 7th, printing charges, rupees 3,000. This is cash payment. Expenses which we are incurring in the form of cash, rupees 3,000 is a credit thing. Okay, till here it is fine. Now, there is one transaction says received check from Natation, rupees 8,000. So what do we need to do with this transaction? We need to consider this transaction as received check. We consider this as check received, check in hand. Okay, when we receive a check, we need to record that in the debit side of the cash book as check, CHEQUE, check in hand. Okay, check in hand, because we have received this check, but we have not deposited the check in the bank. Okay, yet. That is why if we are delaying to deposit the check, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we may deposit the check in the bank. Until and unless we have the check in our hand, we should consider that as a cash equivalent item. Okay, cash equivalent item, and debit that item in the cash book, rupees 8,000, by saying to check in hand, rupees 8,000, that should be debited on 9th of August. You understood? Okay, next, dividend received. Dividend received is a cash receipt, debit side of the cash book. Okay, computer purchase. We have purchased a computer. Whatever we are purchasing, asset also, computer is an asset also, we are purchasing, that is fine. We consider it as a purchase in the form of cash, and purchases is cash payments. Okay, so credit side, cash received from money. We have received a cash. This should be recorded in the debit side. Cash withdrawn from bank. Cash is withdrawn from bank, rupees 2,000. That cash is coming. From bank it is reducing, but to our hand cash is coming. So this should be recorded in the debit side. In the same way, if you see the check, if you check the balance, you will have cash balance of 35,000. That means that you have solved that problem. If you have solved this problem, it means you have understood the single column cash book problem. Okay, there is one more problem which is simple and relating to the same thing. Here they have mentioned received a check from Krishna. that you need to debit it on 21st of December 2002, saying what? To check in hand. To check in hand. In bracket, you can write check received from Krishna. Okay, check in hand. In bracket, you can write check received from Krishna, 10,000 rupees. So that you can write all other transactions are simple. All other transactions are simple, which you can solve by yourself. Cash balance, debit side of the cash book, bought goods for cash. This is credit side because this is a purchases. Purchase goods or credit. This should not be recorded because this is a purchase book transaction, not cash transaction. Sold goods to Somo on credit. This should also not be recorded in the book because this is a sales. This should be recorded in the sales book because this is a credit transaction, not cash transactions. This two transaction will not be recorded. Next, paid Guru rupees 6,000. We have paid Guru 6,000 rupees. This should be recorded in the cash book because this cash is going, and this should be recorded in the credit side. Cash received from Somo 8,000 rupees. This should be recorded in the debit side. We have received the amount from the Somo. Paid trade expenses. This we will consider in the form of cash. We have paid it. Payments in the credit side, and this check received debit side. By saying to check in hand, to check in hand, rupees 10,000 rupees, that you need to write. Commission received, again debit side you need to write cash is coming. So when you check the balance, you will get a cash balance of 62,000 rupees. So if you are capable of solving all this problem, that means you are ready for the 5 marks question in the examination. Okay, so in the next video, I am uploading the problems on double column cash book, which has in the same way, in the same thing, what you are seeing here, like you have amount column for cash, right? In the debit side, one amount column, and credit side, one amount column. You will have one more column, that is discount column or bank column. That is what we call it as a double column cash book. In the next video, I will solve the problems relating to the double column cash book. Thank you.